पूर्व पीएम बांग्लादेश की शेख हसीना भारत में हैं, क्या उन्होंने भारत से राजनीतिक शरण मांगी है? और अगर ऐसा है तो क्या भारत इस पे विचार कर रहा है या किसी भी तरीके से किसी तीसरे देश में उनको शरण मिले, इस तरह की कोई कोशिश भारत की तरफ से की जा रही है?
Okay. Uma.
Sir, I'm Huma Siddiqui from the Financial Express. I have two questions. One is, what happens to the line of credit that we have given to Bangladesh in the defense sector? And what about the Bangladesh bilateral trades with India right now? Is it going on or is it on a hold?
So we have seen a lot of violence in Bangladesh. We have seen attacks on minorities, especially Hindus. What do you have to say? What is India's reaction? Siddhant from Beyond.
Okay. Madhu.
सर मेरा भी सवाल इसी से जुड़ा हुआ है। अभी तक जो प्राप्त जानकारी है, भारत सरकार ने के रिकॉर्ड में कितने लोग, खासतौर पर अल्पसंख्यक हिंदू, बुद्ध और ईसाई जो हैं उन पर हमले हुए हैं, उसमें कैजुअलिटी का नंबर्स क्या है? खासतौर पे जो धार्मिक जो मंदिर हैं या फिर बौद्ध मठ हैं, उन पर जो हमले हुए हैं वो कितने रिकॉर्ड में लिए गए हैं? और उसको लेकर क्या भारत ने कुछ कम्युनिकेट किया है बांग्लादेश में जो अभी आर्मी है या कोई भी एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन है उसको?
कादम्बिनी शर्मा फ्रॉम एनडीटीवी। सर, जो वहाँ पर अभी मिलिट्री चीफ हैं उनसे या वहाँ पर जो भी अभी हैंडल कर रहे हैं, क्या उनसे राजनयिकों और जो वहाँ पर भारतीय मौजूद हैं उनकी सुरक्षा को लेकर कोई आश्वासन मिला है? और एक और सवाल है, जो बॉर्डर्स पे जो बहुत सारे लोग उधर से यहाँ आना चाह रहे हैं, मोस्टली माइनॉरिटीज हैं और कुछ अवामी लीग के हैं, क्या उनके लिए भी कोई प्रावधान करने की बात सोची जा रही है?
Okay. Too many questions. Lot of repetition also.
सर मैं
कभी इनको भी देख लेते हैं, हमेशा आपको देखते रहते हैं।
सर मैं नीरज दुबे प्रभा साक्षी से। सर मेरा प्रश्न ये है कि इस तरह की रिपोर्टें हैं कि पाकिस्तान में भी माइनॉरिटीज के मन में भय है और वो लोग भी भारत से शरण मांग रहे हैं। कुछ लोगों ने टूरिस्ट वीजा के लिए भी अप्लाई किया है। बताया जा रहा है कि कल अटारी बॉर्डर से 2 फैमिली भी इंडिया आई हैं। इस मामले में क्या अपडेट है?
Same question. Rishabh and then Milan.
So good evening, Rishabh from Times Now. So there are 2 reports. One, the people who came with former Prime Minister of Bangladesh, the report says that they have started leaving and Indian authorities are helping them to leave for the next destination from India. Not about Sheikh Hasina or her sister, but other people who accompanied them, and we are given to understand there were more than 10 in numbers. The second, sir, there are reports that BSF has foiled people coming in Indian territory in Tripura. If we can have more details about how many such incidents have taken place on the international border where people have tried to cross over to India.
Sir, Milan from India Today. What is the level of threat of Indian investments in Bangladesh at the moment? Because are we considering that the new government may provide a base or port to either US or China? If yes, how will it affect Indian Navy's monopoly in the Bay of Bengal? If that is something that is being looked at the moment. Also, how long will Sheikh Hasina ji be here in India? We understand that some of her associates are now moving to different places from here on. So these are the questions.
Okay, let me answer these questions. On Bangladesh, so we'll come back to you. If your question has been answered, then you can look at some other question. उमा शंकर, आपका सवाल फॉर्मर प्राइम मिनिस्टर शेख हसीना जी को लेके है। तो हमारे विदेश मंत्री ने बताया स्पष्ट रूप से, जब उन्होंने पार्लियामेंट में अपनी सुओ मोटो स्टेटमेंट दी थी, कि एक शॉर्ट नोटिस पे हम लोगों ने इजाज़त दी उनको यहाँ आने के लिए, भारत आने के लिए। और आज जैसा कि आपको ज्ञात है कि यहाँ अभी जो सिचुएशन है वो इवॉल्विंग है, उसमें चल रहा है, तब्दीली आ रहा है। सो मेरे पास it would not be appropriate for me at this point in time to comment on her plans. So that also answer several other questions that you've asked. Yes. External Affairs Minister has already explained the approval for former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to come to India was given at a short notice. The situation, as you know, is still evolving as far as Bangladesh is concerned. It would not be appropriate for me to comment on her plans. Huma, your question regarding LOC, trade, bilateral trade, all those things. As I said, the situation is evolving. It has been reported that this evening there'll be the swearing in of the interim government. So once those things take place, one thing I would like to emphasize and tell you that as far as we are concerned, Government of India and the people of India are concerned, for us, the interest of the people of Bangladesh is foremost in our minds. Siddhant, a question regarding attacks and minorities situation. This particular issue was also addressed by External Affairs Minister in his suo motu statement. We are also monitoring the situation, as you know, with regard to the status of minorities. There are also reports that various initiatives have been taken by groups and organizations to ensure the protection and well-being of the minorities. I would like to reiterate what External Affairs Minister had said in the Parliament. We welcome these steps, but will naturally remain deeply concerned till law and order is visibly restored. Having said that, we also want to make it clear that it is the responsibility of every government to ensure well-being of all its citizens. We hope for early restoration of law and order in Bangladesh. This is both in the interest of the country itself and for the region as a whole, or the larger region as a whole. मधु, आपका सवाल, हम लोगों ने बहुत सारे रिपोर्ट्स देखे, आपने भी देखा होगा कि वहाँ पर घटनाएं हुई हैं, हिंसा हुआ है, हिंसा भड़का है, और पिछले एक आधा सप्ताह में जब से चल रहा है वहाँ पर प्रोटेस्ट, आपने देखा होगा कि बहुत सारी क्षति हुई है पब्लिक प्रॉपर्टीज को लेके और भी चीज़ों को लेके। तो यही है मोटा मोटा कि उसका आकलन हमारे पास नहीं है, कि वहाँ का सरकार के पास आकलन हुआ क्या हुआ है। लेकिन हम लोग ये कहना चाहते हैं, मैं फिर से एक बार दोहरा रहा हूँ, कि हर सरकार की ये जिम्मेवारी है कि अपने लोगों का ध्यान रखें और उनके हित में काम करें, और जितना जल्दी से जल्दी लॉ एंड ऑर्डर, कानून व्यवस्था उस देश में बहाल होगा, उससे उस देश के लोगों के लिए और साथ साथ पूरे क्षेत्र के लिए ये बेहतर होगा। कदमनी, आपका सवाल इसी को लेके था जो मैंने कहा।
सुरक्षा के आश्वासन को लेकर
तो इस मुद्दे पे हमारी बातचीत वहाँ के सरकार से चल रही है। जैसा कि आप जानते हैं कि वहाँ पर हमारा हाई कमीशन के अलावा 4 और असिस्टेंट हाई कमीशन भी हैं, उनके सुरक्षा को लेके, और वहाँ पर जो हमारे लोग रहते हैं उनके सुरक्षा को लेके हम लोग लगातार उनसे बातचीत कर रहे हैं। और ये हमारा एक्सपेक्टेशन है कि जल्द से जल्द वहाँ कानून व्यवस्था सुधरे, ताकि हम लोग अपना जो काम काज है, जो उच्चायुक्त का काम काज है, वो जल्द से जल्द शुरुआत हो। नीरज, आपका सवाल दूसरे तरफ का था। तो ये जो आपने वाकया बताया कि वहाँ से 2 परिवार आए हैं बॉर्डर पार करके, इसके बारे में मेरे पास अभी जानकारी नहीं है। लेकिन मैंने जैसा कहा कि ये हर देश का ये उसकी अपनी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होती है कि जो अपने लोग हैं उनकी सुरक्षा करें और उनका देखभाल करें। ऋषभ, what was your question? Can you repeat again?
So there are reports that people who came along with Sheikh Hasina and her sister have now started to leave for their further destination. They were moved to safe houses in Delhi, and now they are being assisted. So wherever they have visa for, or they have documents to travel for, they are being assisted to leave. So is it like, if you can just give us more details on that?
So, as far as former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina is concerned, I told you that we don't have an update on the plan, on her plans. It is for her to take things forward. As far as other members that you talked about, I mean, they of course they have their own. They are responsible for themselves, and they will. I also again don't have an update on their plans. It is for them to take forward what they think is in their best interest. Yes. So there, I would again repeat what I had said just earlier, that it is the responsibility of every government to ensure the well-being of all its citizens. We hope for early restoration of law and order in Bangladesh. This is both in the interest of the country itself and the larger region. Milan, your question was regarding Bay of Bengal investments. As I told you,
So investments that we have invested in, of course, in
yes.
Bangladesh, railroad projects, etc., power.
And whether we are considering that there could be a possibility that they give a port to US or China, which could impact the monopoly of Indian Navy in Bay of Bengal.
So, as I told you, we are engaged with authorities in Dhaka. We have before us an evolving situation. As a close friend of the people of Bangladesh, it is our understanding that we want restoration of peace and stability in the country as soon as possible, so that normal life can begin, so that we can all the things that you've talked about, they can be looked after, and we can take the interest of our people, of the people of Bangladesh, in our own interest forward. Can we have more questions? Ishi?
This is Yeshi Seli from the New Indian Express. Yesterday, we read that some members of of the Indians who were working in the High Commission and Assistant High Commissions were facilitated to come back. How many have come back out of these 500? And also the minorities who've been attacked, if they will India consider letting them in if they seek help, because they are most vulnerable right now? And besides the 9,000 students who have returned, the others continue to be there, or also are they also seeking help?
Mm-hmm. Ishi?
So this is Ayushi Agwar from ANI. Can we have more details of the talks held between our foreign minister and UK foreign secretary this afternoon? How much was Bangladesh discussed, and was the possible asylum to UK a part of discussion too?
Mm-hmm. Sudhi?
So, Shudhirajan from Bloomberg. So, as you said, the situation is fluid. In your initial statement, can you give us an understanding whether the government of India has opened negotiations or reached out to the interim government, Muhammad Yunus, or anybody in charge in Bangladesh, in particular the army?
Yes, please.
I am Gautam Dairi. Yeah, now as you said that new government would be sworn in the evening. So what will be India's attitude towards the new government? Because they're the next door neighbor, as you say, a close neighbor.
Okay. Dant?
Hi, sir. I'm Siddhant from CNN News 18. Sir, I want to know that since you said that we are engaging with people back in Dhaka, I have two questions. So, one, have we raised the issue of minorities being attacked specifically? And second, who are we talking to? Army or the probable members of the interim government or the political parties in Dhaka? Thank you.
Okay. Let me, too many questions, so let me answer them, and then. Yeshi, we had informed External Affairs Minister in his statement had informed that there are 19,000 people thereabout in Bangladesh, of which 9,000 thereabout are students, of which majority of them have come back. There are Indians who want to come back, and there our High Commission is assisting them with support. Obviously, the airlines are operating, as you know. There are several people have reached out to our High Commission and Assistant High Commission for support, and that assistance is being rendered to Indian nationals, and several people have also come back. We hope that the security situation in the country improves soon so that normal life can begin, and it will be easy for us, our High Commission and our Assistant High Commission, also to begin their normal functioning. Insofar as the question of the Indian staffers working in our High Commission is concerned, we have only our non-essential Indian staff members and their family members have come back. And given the situation, this is also the situation with other embassies. They have also pulled back their non-essential or their own people. We hope that normalcy returns so that we can, our High Commission and Assistant High Commission, they can begin the normal work as soon as possible. Ayushi, on your question, you would have seen External Affairs Minister just a few hours back. He had a conversation with Foreign Secretary David Lammy. The two leaders spoke about developments in Bangladesh and West Asia. Further than that, I don't have anything else to add to that. Today, on the authorities, yes, we are in touch with Bangladesh authorities. We are closely monitoring the situation. We are in touch with them to ensure the safety and security of our missions, of our personnel who are manning those missions, and also for the safety and security of Indian nationals. You also asked the question about Gautamji asked the question about the interim government, which is on that. Let's wait, I would say, because it is an evolving situation. It would be premature for me to comment at this stage. But as I told you, I would like to emphasize and make this one thing very clear, that the interest of the people of Bangladesh is foremost in our minds, in the mind of the government, and it's so important for Government of India and for the people of India. On minority issues, yes, we have, Siddhant, we are closely monitoring the situation. External Affairs Minister also talked about it. We are, we hope that certain steps have been taken by groups and organizations, and we welcome that. But, we want that the law and order situation in the country improves so that normal life can begin. And also to that, I would like to again reiterate the point. It is the responsibility of every government to ensure the well-being of all its citizens. We hope for early restoration of law and order in Bangladesh. This is both in the interest of the country itself and the larger region. Questions? So one.
This is Raghavendra Verma from German television ZDF. So the events in Bangladesh earlier this week were quite dramatic, and there were loss of life, so many. How does India define or term that? What was it considered to be unfortunate, what has happened in Bangladesh this week, and what could it be have an impact on India? What precautions the government is taking so that there would not be many negative impacts on India, and why this would have happened? Sheikh Hasina was an ally of India, what India was doing, and why it reached that stage.
Yeah.
So if I have two questions, Pia with the print. First, if you could confirm if the EM is traveling to the Maldives this week and what his agenda will be. Secondly, on Bangladesh, as the External Affairs Minister said on the floor of the Parliament, the protest began with the anti-quota issue, but it escalated and took a turn, eventually coalescing around the removal of Sheikh Hasina. So was it that Indian intelligence agencies were not aware of this escalation in our neighboring country, or was it that no action was taken on available intelligence?
Okay. Manish.
सर मैं मनीष झा हूँ TV9 से। मोहम्मद यूनुस जो कि बांग्लादेश में इंटरिम सरकार को लीड करने वाले हैं, उनका इंडिया को लेकर बहुत ही मिक्स रिएक्शन रहा है। पब्लिकली वो ये बात काफ़ी क्रिटिसाइज़ करते हैं कि शेख हसीना को इंडिया ने बहुत ज़्यादा समर्थन दिया है। तो अब जबकि वो सरकार को लीड करेंगे, तो इंडिया की क्या एक्सपेक्टेशन है मोहम्मद यूनुस से?
Abhishek?
Hi, sir, this is Abhishek Jha from CNN News 18. My question will be yet again on the same minority issues. You said that law and order situation is the responsibility of the state government, but there is rampant incidences of persecution and oppression of minorities, and several hundreds of them have come closer to the Indian borders. They want shelter or some sort of refuge in India. Do we have any policy as of now whether the Hindus, the minority Hindus fleeing from Bangladesh, will be allowed entry as a temporary basis, or are we not allowing them to enter India right now?
Okay. Neeraj?
सर, नीरज हूँ न्यूज 18 इंडिया से। शेख हसीना के बेटे ने न्यूज 18 इंडिया से बातचीत में कहा है कि बांग्लादेश में जो हुआ है बाहरी फैक्टर्स में आईएसआई का भी हाथ है और यूएस की तरफ भी इशारा किया है। कैसे देखते हैं आप इस बयान को?
Okay, let me answer this question first to a friend here. On the situation in Bangladesh, our foreign minister has spoken, external affairs minister has spoken on the floor of the parliament. He has given a detailed explanation of the situation in Bangladesh from our point of view. So I would refer you to look at the Suomoto statement. Over and above, I would like to tell you and others also that we are in touch with Bangladesh authorities. We have requested them to ensure safety and security of our nationals, also safety and security of our High Commission and their personnel. And it is our expectation that law and order will return to normalcy hopefully soon, so that normal relationship can begin, normal transaction, normal life in the country can begin. Also, I would like to again emphasize that the interest of the people of Bangladesh is foremost for us. Yeah, regarding the visit that you mentioned, you will come to know of the visit once we announce it. So let's wait for that. There are a lot of things that are happening, so we'll have to wait you'll have to wait for us to announce the visit. Regarding the question again, what you said, I would urge you to look at the statement made by the External Affairs Minister. That would give you an indication of our understanding and how we look at the developments in Bangladesh. Manish, आपका सवाल देखिए, अभी तो वहाँ सरकार जो अंतरिम सरकार है बना नहीं है। एक बार अंतरिम सरकार बन जाए तो उसके बाद कुछ कहा जा सकता है। अब अभी की स्थिति में ये है कि थोड़ा प्रीमैच्योर है कहना, लेकिन मैंने जैसे कहा आपसे कि अंतरिम सरकार आए और भी बहुत सारी चीज़ें होंगी आने वाले, लेकिन हमारे लिए जो है वहाँ के लोगों की जो आकांक्षाएं हैं, वहाँ के लोगों का जो हित है, वो हमारे लिए सर्वोपरि है और रहेगा भारत के लिए, भारत के लोगों के लिए। तो इस उद्देश्य को मद्देनजर रखते हुए हम लोग काम करेंगे। Abhishek, I've already answered this question, but I would again like to repeat very specifically for you that, it is the responsibility of every government to ensure the well-being of all its citizens. We hope for early restoration of law and order in Bangladesh. This is both in the interest of country itself and the larger region. So that should answer your question. नीरज, आपने सवाल किया फॉरेन हैंड को लेके, तो मैं आपको बताना चाहूँगा कि वहाँ जो घटनाएं हुए हैं कुछ दिन में, उसके हर पहलू को हम लोग उसका निरीक्षण कर रहे हैं, एनालिसिस कर रहे हैं और देखते हैं आगे क्या होता है। So we are closely analyzing all aspects of recent developments in Bangladesh. This was in reference to the question posed by Dheeraj on involvement of foreign powers in governments. Shall we go? I hope there are, you're asking the same question, so, I would have already answered many of your questions on Bangladesh at least. There and then.
Sir, you just mentioned that India has been, in touch, discussed the Bangladesh situation with the UK. There was also a BRICS Sherpa meeting about which you posted earlier in the day. So, I mean, could you give a sense of if India is, coordinating with how many foreign partners India is coordinating with as far as the situation in Bangladesh is concerned? And sir, just one more question on the minorities issue in Bangladesh, sir. Have the Indian High Commission and the Assistant High Commissions received any visa applications from members of the minority community or those associated with former dispensations in the last 2 days? And sir, because we are given to understand that the visa operations they have been suspended in the morning. Thank you, sir.
Sachin.
Hi, Sachin from the Times of India. Given that, as the foreign minister said in Parliament, she had sought permission to come here only for the moment. And the fact that, an extended presence for us may not be to the liking of the new dispensation in Dhaka. Can you give us a sense of, what is the understanding in the government about how long can we afford to have Hasina on our soil? Is there a sort of a time frame or a deadline or a line which you have drawn for her, beyond which you would not be able to have here? Thanks.
सर, मैं संजीव त्रिवेदी हूँ न्यूज़ 24 से, और इसी सवाल को आगे बढ़ाते हुए विदेश मंत्री का जो बयान था संसद में, उसको दिए करीब 48 घंटे बीत चुके हैं। तो तेजी से बदलते घटनाक्रम के संदर्भ में आपसे ये जानना है कि क्या शेख हसीना हम लोगों से पॉलिटिकल असाइलम मांगा है, और अगर ऐसा नहीं है तो क्या वो एक ऐसे मित्र के तौर पर यहाँ हैं जो जब तक चाहें तब तक यहाँ रहेंगी, या फिर भारत उनको किसी दूसरे देश में असाइलम लेने में मदद कर रहा है?
Okay. Hello.
Kalol Bhattacharjee from The Hindu. My question is, this evening we have the swearing-in ceremony of the interim government. So has there been an invite from the Bangladesh side to send an Indian representative at the event, and who is going to represent India at the event? And also, sir, you were saying repeatedly that the interest of the Bangladesh people is really paramount for you. So in that sense, has India reconciled to the developments of the last few days? And are you now in a position to say that you are perhaps kind of positive towards the change that has taken place?
Okay. First, Dhairya, your question on the Bangladesh issue. We talked about the discussion that External Affairs Minister had with the UK Foreign Secretary just a few hours back. Those discussions were on West Asia and also developments in Bangladesh. Regarding G20 meetings, yes, we have been regularly attending G20 meetings. The recent one was on G20 development issues, where our Secretary ER had participated. We also released a press release that will give you more details of our engagement. On the visa issue, last 2-3 days, because of violence and arson in Dhaka, it was difficult to conduct normal activities, normal functioning of the embassy. Once normal functioning or law and order is restored, we hope that normal functioning will begin soon, because this bilateral relations is so important, and we'll be able to conduct all our functions. I don't have an update on whether this particular issue was discussed in the BRICS Sherpa meeting. I will come back to you with more details on that. Sachin, regarding the former Prime Minister, I would again like to reiterate and repeat, I have already said this, that it would not be appropriate for me to comment on her plans. It is for her to take things forward. संजीव, आपका सवाल भी जवाब जो मैंने दिया है वही जवाब है आपके लिए भी. Kalol, swearing in ceremony, I understand, I saw reports that it is to be held this evening. I don't know the exact time, somewhere I read that 8 o'clock. I also understand that diplomatic community members have been invited to participate. It is likely that our High Commissioner would participate. Again, I would like to emphasize that for us, we have been in touch with the authorities in Bangladesh presently. As far as the interim government is concerned, let's see, let's wait. It is slightly premature for us to comment on it. But as I said, the interest of Bangladeshi people is of paramount importance to us. Uma, again.
सर एक सवाल ब्रिटेन को
भाई
ब्रिटेन को लेकर है सर. मेरा नाम आकाश श्रीवास्तव है, मैं थर्ड आईवर्ड नीशी हूँ सर. सर, ब्रिटेन के कई शहरों में पिछले कुछ समय से काफी हिंसक प्रदर्शन चल रहे हैं. इस बारे में भारत जो हिंसा चल रहा है वो किस नजरिए से देखता है सर?
So I just want to know what is India's position on the recent elections in Venezuela, because the American government is not accepting the results. So does it have an impact on our relations with that country, and what happens to the money which is stuck there?
Siddhant, what is the question?
So not on Bangladesh, on the situation in West Asia, because that's also another major hotspot, and many Indians are there in Lebanon, Israel. How do you assess the situation? We know that advisories have been issued. So are we looking at some kind of evacuation plan, or do you see the situation remaining same?
Okay. Milan.
So you said that External Affairs Minister spoke with David Lammy. So apart from Bangladesh, if anything else was discussed, because we have a statement from the UK Home Office saying that Sheikh Hasina should seek asylum in the first country, which is India, and whether they have spoken on her asylum request in the UK.
Okay, first question to a friend here. ब्रिटेन में जो हिंसा, आपने हिंदी में पूछा था अंग्रेजी में पूछा था? हिंदी में पूछा था. ब्रिटेन में जो हिंसा को लेके काफ़ी सारी हादसा आपने देखा होगा, उसको लेके हम लोगों ने एक एडवाइजरी भी जारी की, क्योंकि हमारे बहुत सारे लोग यूके जाते हैं और बहुत सारे भारतीय मूल के लोग वहाँ रहते हैं. तो हम लोगों ने इस एडवाइजरी में ये कहा कि आप लोग जहाँ जहाँ हिंसक घटनाएं हो रहे हैं उससे बच के रहिए, ताकि अपनी सुरक्षा आप स्वयं कर सकते हैं. तो एडवाइजरी ज़रूरी था ये हिंसा को लेके. तो ये मैं कहूँगा कि हम लोगों की ये प्रतिक्रिया रही वहाँ पर जो लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की स्थिति बिगड़ी है उसको लेके. On recent election in Bangladesh, in Venezuela, yes, we are following the developments in Venezuela since the recent presidential elections, and we hope that there will be a peaceful resolution of the issue. That is our position to make that point to the question that you asked. So, well, that is an issue, but it is also an ongoing issue. We will have to deal with that issue with the government there and the stakeholders who are involved as to how it can be resolved. So I guess I understand, but I don't have all the details, but I understand that there have been some communication between the stakeholders involved on the financial part that you mentioned. Milan, yes, the UK Foreign Secretary and External Affairs Minister had a conversation. Apart from West Asia, Bangladesh was also discussed. Over than that, I don't have it. We have already made it clear. I don't have any more further details on this. Siddhant, question regarding West Asia. Yes, the situation in West Asia is of extreme concern to us, as you know. Um, there are around 3,000 Indian nationals in Lebanon. There are 10,000 people in Iran. Our embassies there, they have issued advisories for people to be alert, to be cautious. And given the situation, we would continue to call for de-escalation and call for restraint because that is the need of the hour. So with that, we come to the closure of this press engagement. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
On behalf of the Center for Air Power Studies, it is my pleasure to welcome Dr. S. Shankar to the 7th Jasjit Singh Memorial Lecture. I would like to now invite Air Vice Marshal Anil Gulani, Director General CAPS, to deliver the welcome remarks.
Dr. S. Jaishankar, the guest of honor for the day, Shri Sanjay Baru, Session Chair and a founder trustee of the Forum for National Security Studies, Air Chief Marshal V.R. Chaudhary, Chief of Air Staff, former Air Chiefs, civil and military officers, friends from the media, and very special members from the family of Air Commodore Jasjit Singh, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you all. Welcome to the 7th Air Commodore Jasjit Singh Memorial Lecture. On this occasion, we are going to miss Mr. M.K. Rasgotra, former Foreign Secretary and the chairman of the trust, that is FNSS, as he's indisposed. And Sri N.N. Vora, also another founder trustee, who's not able to attend, has conveyed his best wishes for the event. As you all are well aware, Air Commodore Jasjit Singh was the founder director of the Center for Air Power Studies, a national security think tank that he set up in the year 2001. CAPS has since then grown into a credible institution on matters related to aerospace security, nuclear energy security and strategy, the Indo-Pacific region, and the challenges in our neighborhood. It was the vision and mission of Jasjit Singh to nurture the intellectual capital of the country and imbue it with a sense of national security consciousness. He made sure that CAPS engaged in this mission through conduct of in-depth research and its dissemination through seminars and publications. We are proud to have published over 270 books, apart from our flagship Institute of Defense Studies and Analysis, and was its longest serving Director General from 87 to 2001. He was also the founder director, as I've said earlier, of the Center for Air Power Studies, a post that he held till his demise for 12 years. And he wrote a number of books on air power, nuclear and national strategy, Asian security, Asia Pacific, India Pakistan issues, essays on China, Indian Ocean, Kargil War, joint operations, military leadership, and you name it. The canvas was rather wide, and as I read, if you read his writings today, he was rather prescient in his writings about what we are witnessing today. He also wrote The Icon, a biography of the Marshal of the Air Force, Jasjit Singh. At the National Security Advisory Board under his mentor K. Subramaniam, he made important contributions on national security and the draft nuclear doctrine for India. He was highly regarded in international strategic circles. Air Commodore Jasjit Singh was awarded the Padma Bhushan in 2006 for his contribution to strategic thought. There is no doubt that the real challenge for Indian foreign policy today is to navigate through a world of greater multipolarity and weaker multilateralism. This has not only evolved Delhi's worldview, but also of the world towards New Delhi, and increasingly requires a grand strategy for New Delhi to deal with the shifts in global politics. Some of the major shifts that the world today is witnessing include the return of major wars like the interstate wars in Europe and West Asia, a challenge to the US hegemony, leading to some scholars imagining a post-American world order coupled with the belligerent rise of China. The guardrails of multilateral institutions that emerged post the world wars and survived during the Cold War have been cast aside as they have failed in preventing conflict in Europe, West Asia, and increasingly in Africa too. These institutions also face difficulty in cementing consensus over larger issues such as climate change. To speak to us on all these issues and India's grand strategy in an uncertain multipolar world amidst shifting balance of power and rising nationalism, we are indeed honored to have Dr. S. Jaishankar with us, who has been India's External Affairs Minister since 30th of May 2019. A career diplomat turned politician, he has been instrumental in raising India's voice on the global high table and ensuring that a rising India gets its due. Dr. Jaishankar is a recipient of Padma Shri and has written widely acclaimed best-selling books, The India Way, Strategies for an Uncertain World, published in 2020, and Why Bharat Matters, published this year. His talk would be followed by a short Q&A session. I now invite Mr. Sanjay Baru, the session chair, who is also a founder trustee of FNSS, to make his remarks and then invite Dr. Jaishankar for the talk. Thank you.
Mr. Minister, Director General, Chief of Air Staff, former chiefs, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and members of Air Commodore Jasjit Singh's family. As a founder trustee of FNSS and the Center for Air Power Studies, it is my privilege this afternoon to welcome you all, especially our chief guest, Dr. Jaishankar. Air Commodore Jasjit Singh was a soldier, a scholar, and an institution builder. At this annual memorial lecture every year, we celebrate all these three aspects of Air Commodore Jasjit Singh's personality, especially his record as an institution builder. Under the guidance of Mr. K. Subramaniam,